we now come to that part in the show that we like to call the news headlines segment. Firstly, Jeremy Corbyn recently announced that he's worried about the number of seats in the House of Commons that Labour has. This comes after a recent report surveyed that soon Virgin Trains will have more seats than Labour does. A UK-funded wall has recently been built in Calais in order to stop migrants from climbing into England via a World War Z-style human ladder. A local ninja trips over her own hair after being unable to get a haircut for fear of harming a scissors-wielding hairdresser. Disappointed viewers turn off as Malala Yousafzai, when asked who she was wearing, talks about global politics instead. And those are today's headlines.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Tonight, on the news, a boy whose eyes are too big for his stomach has had them removed on the controversial new government legislation. Braking is made illegal as both accident numbers and efficiency soar. And who's that in your bins? Political correspondent Sally Thornton on how our former Prime Minister David Cameron is keeping busy. But first, in a move heavily scrutinised by political commentators and animal rights activists alike, the Prime Minister Theresa May announced earlier this week to be replacing the Trident nuclear programme with a giant lizard. The 19-foot-long iguana was deployed on beaches on Dover on Tuesday in an attempt to shore up the country's controversial security system. Now, the move has sparked unprecedented opposition from the public after 19 local dog walkers were found dead late on Tuesday evening. The dogs remain shaken, but alive. The Prime Minister has received further complaints from a local Scottish council after the now redundant nuclear programme was found dumped in a skip in central Glasgow. When asked for a response, the Prime Minister's new head of communications is quoted as saying, "No one cares. Trident was shit. Anyways, if there's anything that's going to keep us safe, it's a big fuck-off lizard." This is the latest in a string of controversial policy decisions that have drawn scrutiny, including last month's Crocs for Refugees campaign, a scheme quickly revealed to be a terrifying ploy to insert tracking chips into human beings. We're now live with our Whitehall correspondent Gavin Broadhurst. Hello, Gavin.
Hello.
Has the PM gone too far on this one?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, refugees come to this country after suffering appalling atrocities, and they go to collect a pair of lovely Crocs, and it's just not right.
And the lizard?
Well, it's a very big lizard. I mean, I want it on my side.
Thank you, Gavin. Moving on to some breaking news, or should I say, beaking news. As Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn announces his resignation in a startling news conference during which he has his mouth surgically replaced with a bird's beak, and reveals plans to spend his retirement sitting in his garden eating beetles. We wish him all the best for the future. In celebrity news, Robbie Williams was blinded live on television after looking directly into the sun for a full 16 minutes on the set of ITV's This Morning. It was during an interview about his newest album that, after a particularly lengthy question about the relationship between him and Gary Barlow, the 18th time British award winner gazed up at the sun in frustration, to only minutes later go legally blind. Attempts to rouse him turned out to be in vain, and a spokesperson from ITV gave her lamentations at a press conference earlier today, stating, "I just don't think he realised how bright the sun is. It really is very bright." It sure is, Kathy. It sure is. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow as we present an expose on the latest of a series of stringent money-saving methods in the NHS, as every third doctor is replaced by the cardboard cutout of a shark in order to scare illness out of patients. Back to you, Larry.